Hey guys, welcome back to Dork Forge. My name is Paul, and today we're coming back at you with another build. Today we're going to channel our inner Keanu Reeves and go for a John Wick D&Dizing. This is specifically a hand crossbow build using the Variant Human and the Ranger to build up our abilities. So again, the link to the document that you're seeing on screen, which will help guide you through the build if you want to try this out in a one-shot, will be in the description. So the concept of this is to make a hand crossbow build that is viable and the most optimum thing that you can do in early gameplay. Things that are going to be more realistic for most campaigns and games. So this is going to be fully online by level 5. Now, there's two different ways that you can do this when you get to the ability score increase, and we'll address that when we get there. So there is some room for customization, but let's just take a look at the highlights first. So you're going to get a high number of attacks and potential damage for the level. This is actually, for a time, maybe more than you get with a fighter. Or at the very least on par, but the extra damage you're going to get from going with the Gloomstalker's extra attack puts you a little bit ahead. You're going to get good stealth and scouting potential in those dark places with that dark vision for a human, which we don't normally get. And also, when you're in darkness, because of our Gloomstalker abilities, you actually become invisible. And we are a ranger, we do have access to some spells, so that gives us some versatility. So, we are going with the human variant. We only really need dexterity and wisdom. So we're going to have a +2 to our con for some hit points and durability. And we're going to be starting with a +3 to our dex and a +3 to our wisdom. So now when you get to the 3rd level, you are going to be able to add your wisdom to your initiative modifier as well. So a nice little bump that should get you towards the middle or top of most initiative counts, unless you're playing with a bunch of people with alert and things like that. So, quick breakdown of skills. We're going to get athletics to shore up our weakness in strength, perception and survival from our ranger. We're going to get deception, stealth and thieves tools from our criminal hired killer background, because we are going for that John Wick, I used to be an assassin kind of feel. And then we'll take investigation for our variant human skill, not feat, just because it's quite a useful skill, especially if you're going for the assassin build. It's going to make you better at picking out fine details, like where's the best to set up an ambush, that kind of thing. Some recommended spells. Cure Wounds. I don't think I will ever recommend a build that has access to Cure Wounds not getting it. Being able to heal yourself, great. Being able to heal party members in a really clutch moment, great. It's just all around a really great spell. If you have access for it, go for it. Hunter's Mark, the iconic ranger boost. Now, seeing as this build is based around number of attacks, it's going to be really key. The more attacks you make, the more d6s you get off of that Hunter's Mark. But you will be losing an attack on the first round from your bonus action, unless you Hunter's Mark beforehand, which is where that stealth can come in. And then we are going to end up with 2nd level spells, and I'd recommend Pass Without Trace and Silence. Nice stealth, boosts, but then Silence also gives you the versatility of shutting down enemy casters. So let's get into the breakdown level by level to try and guide you through how you should play. Now, for some bizarre reason, the hand crossbow is an extremely expensive weapon. So if you take the gold variant, you might be able to start off straight away with it. If you have a nice DM, they might just let you swap out a weapon and take a bit of gold penalty. But really try and get the hand crossbow as soon as possible, because it is key for this build. Now, with Variant Human, we will be taking the Crossbow Expert feat, which will allow us to dive straight into ranged combat immediately. If people do close on us, we won't get disadvantage for that within 5 feet. When we get to our first additional attack at 3rd level, we're going to be able to keep using our crossbow for that, because we will overcome the luring property, and it'll also unlock straight away from level 1 that bonus action attack. So yeah, for favoured enemy and terrain, that's really more campaign specific. Talk to your DM, see what's going to actually come up, and choose it that way. Level 2, we're going to take Archery. Now, you would get access to Archery at 1st level as a fighter, but I still believe that if you're going towards 3 and 5, this is still a better way to do it. So level 2, take Archery, and if you're not already on hand crossbow as your primary, then make it your primary right here, and you're going to take Cure Wounds and Hunter's Mark for your spells. So straight away, at this point, if you haven't been using hand crossbow already, you will now be moving to a 2 attack per turn. Now level 3 is a heavy level. We get our Gloomstalker subclass, which is going to give us so many things. First of all, goodbye darkness, hello 60-foot dark vision. You get to add your wisdom to your initiative. On the first round of combat, you're going to get an extra 10 feet to your speed. You're going to get an extra attack, which is going to be 3 attacks total. And if that extra attack hits, it is an extra d8 of damage as well. So this is where you really start to see the potential. And in your first round of combat, every combat, you're now going to get 3 attacks. Unless you want to substitute the bonus action for Hunter's Mark, but that's really up to you. Now, level 4 is where you can choose to go a little bit different. If you are happy with how you're doing damage-wise, or maybe you're finding that you're struggling to hit, depending what enemies are in the game, or maybe just how you roll, you might want to, instead of Sharpshooter, opt to bump your dex. That's entirely your choice, how you feel that the game has been going up to this point. Otherwise, we're going to take Sharpshooter, which will give us that max range without disadvantage. It'll give us the ability to shoot past 1/2 and 3/4 cover. And it's going to give us the ability to take a -5 for a +10 damage boost. Very nice. And level 5 is when the rest is going to come online. You're going to get that extra attack, meaning that your first round is 4 attacks. If you go Sharpshooter, that is potentially 40 damage, not including modifier, not counting any dice. That's big. And we're also going to get those 2nd level spells. So you can pass without a trace, get into position, and then once you're nice and hidden, just Hunter's Mark, and then engage with a surprise round. So that is our build. That is the level 5 John Wick optimum hand crossbow build. I think this is a realistic target for people to try and hit. I don't think many people get towards certainly tier 4, but probably tier 3 as well. So I think this is a sweet spot, but we will cover some advice for multiclassing and a look towards 20th level if you're going to get to that epic level. So after we hit 5th level, personally I would advise just dropping Ranger. Unless you want to progress for any specific Ranger features, or if you really want to progress your Ranger spellcasting for some reason, then continue, but otherwise I'm going to say just go straight fighter for the rest of them. Your first level of fighter, you can either go, well, I would recommend going defense and boosting your AC, but if you want to shore up any weak spots, maybe there's high winds, maybe the enemy is resistant to piercing, then you might want to pick dueling and then carry a slashing weapon to offset that. But then the rest will be, on my recommendation, going fighter, pick up Battlemaster, pick up precision attack so that you can help hit all those sharpshooter attacks. And that's really going to get you the most out of sharpshooter. Pick up some other options as well. Be careful with something like trip attack, which I believe you can use at range. Feel free to use it, but only on your last attack, because if you use it on your first or second, the rest will be at disadvantage. So, quick look at what you get with the fighter. So when you reach 7th level, so that's overall, 5 ranger, 2 fighter, you're going to get a Nova of 6 attacks for a potential of 107 damage, assuming average damage and that all attacks hit. That's not even counting Battlemaster maneuvers. That's pretty insane for a solid tier 2 character. And at level 20 now, in tier late 3 and 4, it's going to drop off a little bit. But I think it's still a competitive damage. So you're looking for a Nova round of 8 attacks, 6 superiority die of D10s. You're going to get 2 users of Indomitable. You're going to have 2nd level ranger spells, 6 ASIs to play with. So as soon as you've maxed out that dex, you might want to consider bumping your wisdom, get a higher initiative count. Otherwise, some things to consider would be Martial Adept to get another superiority die. Lucky, because I'm not really a fan of Lucky, but let's face it, it goes great with everything. And Alert, so you want to be the I always go first guy, then go for Dex, Wisdom, and a flat +5. And that's just the top-down view, level 20. There is a quick note I will have here at the end. If your DM is okay with the revised Ranger, which was released as UA, do it. It's so much better. It'll give you advantage on initiative, and when you attack anyone that hasn't gone yet, you will actually get advantage, which is huge. I think advantage comes off as like an average of a +5 or something. That is huge for getting that sharpshooter off. So revised Ranger, definitely go for it if your DM's okay with it. Personally, as a DM myself, I don't think it's broken. I think it's just making the Ranger more appealing. Yeah, thank you for sitting through my blabbering again, guys. This has been the John Wick build. This is Dork Forge. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this build, and we will see you next time.